And we'll try to make sure the clips.
This is a learning experience for you.
To let women know
how
the setup is beforehand so they can know
you're
how
the
to
creator, you're the host, you're supposed to be the producer. Yeah, all of that. I thought we were having tables again.
Well, we did have a table. It's not a bigger table. So that's why I can't have a girlfriend for real though.
Press record. Let's start right there. We're gonna start right there.
You know what I'm saying? Mike Ragland. Are you shorting it up, Rags? Maybe because you dress, you know what I'm saying, you dress cool or whatever. But they be like, hell no. And even when I rant, like I've heard people like jokingly say, "No, you'll know it all." Like I don't know a lot of shit. The more that I go and seek knowledge, the more I realize it's a lot of shit I don't know. I know you hating that I'm up. Always 1,000 Michaels everywhere, so just always be able to go Mike Rags, you know, just stuff. That's how I came up with the Rags. My price is gone. I'm so we can start with the communication thing, man.
Is that what inspired that topic?
So that's not what inspired the topic. I was having a conversation with a client the other day while I was cutting his hair. And we were just talking, and I said something about try. I was like, I'm gonna try to do. He was like, try is a filler word. And he started going into how there are filler words, positive words, they give positive energy, and negative words, they give negative energy. One example was, just so to make it a little more clear, one example was criticism, the word criticism. He was like, if you ever have to say, I'm trying to give you positive criticism, then it's not positive at all. Or it's not going to come across to whoever you're talking to as positive. He said instead of saying criticism, maybe even use feedback, critique. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just word choice is so big when it comes to communication.
It is.
It gives energy. It gives spells, and we're not going to go on all that. But that made me think about how in past relationships, I was always considered an asshole. Mm-hmm. I was like, honestly, I was always considered very nonchalant, non-caring.
I can see that.
But I don't believe that's what I meant to come across. You know what I'm saying? Like,
those are not your intentions.
Right. It was never intended to be like that. But, sometimes without you knowing, that's what energy you're giving off.
Right.
So we can start here with with that's why I'm
that's
single.
why you can't have a girlfriend,
single.
you said.
Because at this point in my life, I'm still working on how to talk to people.
Yeah.
Even on friends. I have friends that tell me like they don't want to tell me certain things because they feel like I'm so judgmental.
Really?
And it's so
No, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead ass. I did not know that. Like, judgmental is not what I get from you. Right.
But I speak so sometimes with people, especially my homeboys.
Yeah.
They're men. They should be able to take it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we'll talk.
That's not healthy.
Right, it's not. And I'm learning that. But I would say things brutally honest to them. So I would say whatever it is, as direct and as whether it was going to hurt them or not, I would say it just that because I feel like they needed to hear it that way.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking, how can I say this to where they won't be defensive when they hear it?
But you and I have the same issue.
And that is?
I'm brutally honest.
Oh, well, yeah. But
I'm brutally honest, and people be like, Cody's an asshole. She don't know how to talk to folks.
See, I didn't know people thought of you as that.
Mike, you being funny.
No, I know you're argumentative with me. I know we like to go, but I didn't think you were.
Well, first of all,
an asshole.
That's a negative word, argumentative. But I don't take offense to that because with you, like you're just easy. So sure, yeah, I'm argumentative with you. But like I wouldn't say.
Hold on. What did you mean by I'm easy?
You're an easy target.
Are you saying I'm easily defeatable, or are you just saying that? it's easy to pick with me. And
going back to Michael Ragland's nigga logic. Like, it's so rampant that I can just call you out on it at any moment at any time, and it's gonna cause a debate between us. But like, that's part of our friendship.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's just our banter.
Right.
But
for sure.
I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm argumentative with other people, but I do recognize that because of the field that I work in, I'm very much about the facts. I'm very matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very detail oriented. And so sometimes when I say things or people think that I'm correcting them, it's more so me like trying to educate them. It's like I'm trying to help you not sound less informed. You know, like that's my whole mantra with anybody. I'm always like, I want you to be more educated in what it is you're talking about instead of you being out here saying things that you really don't know what you're talking about.
Right. That's one thing the client was also telling me too, though, is like a lot of people just take what they hear and spew it out and just repeat it. They don't actually do the education for themselves. And we actually went down a very, very long rabbit hole, but it was a very good conversation.
So how are you going to try to improve in this area so that you can have a girlfriend one day?
Oh, well, I'm learning that everything that I think doesn't need to be said.
Do you want a girlfriend?
For sure. I was thinking the same thing.
I'll be totally honest. At this point in my life, I won't say that I'm looking for a girlfriend. Oh my God. Because of I've seen my parents have been married 40 plus years. Mm-hmm. I've seen the work. Sorry. Oh, you good. The work, we can edit that. Yeah. The work, the energy, the effort.
Relationships are not easy.
They are work.
It's
like trying to start a business when you're talking about marriage, especially when it comes to licensing and the benefits and everything. So if you're going to go that route, which is what I still believe in, I'm still traditional, which is why you don't have kids. I mean, it's not that, I haven't been practicing.
Your pull-out game is good.
Yeah, and then, also, I do use condoms with, I go
you
raw
don't use them all the time. Go
ahead
and don't
but I still do.
Don't
but
lie.
I use them enough for the ones that I know that aren't pregnant.
The ones that you don't want to get pregnant.
Trust, or the one, the ones I would definitely not want to, or the ones that suggest, like, we definitely have to.
But you know what's so interesting that made me think about how, like, when I was single and dating, like, there would be guys who would straight up tell me, like, Cody, I think you'd be a great mother and I wouldn't mind having a baby with you, but they were not trying to pursue a serious relationship. And I would just be like, why do you think that's a compliment?
Well, because for a nigga to say that I can see you having my seed that's almost the ultimate compliment. Now, I see what you mean, though, by that's not a compliment by him saying, I want you to have my seed, but I don't want to be necessarily attached to you as you are attached to my seed.
But here's how women perceive that, in my opinion, because I understand that as a man, you're saying that, like, if you were to pick a mother for your child, mm-hmm. you want somebody who's going to be well taken care of and somebody who's going to have a quality life. So, yes, I understand that perspective. But on the other hand, what I'm also hearing is that I'm not deserving enough of the full package because that's what women want. We want the ring. We want the marriage. We want our kids to live in a 2-parent household. And what you're telling me is I'm only good for some of that.
And that's the thing, though, that's what women maybe your age and older want, but these younger women, they don't want the total package. They
girls.
Like but it's like a new feminine energy that's just like, I can be a nigga. Well, when I say a nigga, I mean I can be the breadwinner. I can be out here with multiple partners. I can be out here cheating. I can do the same thing that
the millennials have taught the Gen Z well.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's I think the dating game is just trying to go into dating, and this is another reason why I'm single. Trying to go into dating with like a plan or a handbook of what I want it to look like in 2022 is just difficult because how women, how men, how everybody thinks about love, marriage, everything is cool to be toxic now. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would just rather.
But
while
you've
I'm
been
focused-
toxic majority of the time. So
I-
how are you gonna
I
now
don't
be like, I don't
consider-
want to be with nobody who's toxic?
I don't consider what I do toxic because there is always, it's always understood when I first deal with a woman whether or not I really rock
Have
with you
feelings for
on
her.
that level or not.
So let me ask you this: when you have a woman like that
Mm-hmm.
you are dealing with, that you have real feelings for, but you have not committed, what does that conversation look like? Like, what are you telling her? Because I just want to know.
It's not anything special that I'm telling her. I was taught this young in my 10-year Bama. Actually by
Oh, Lord,
actually
Alabama.
by a woman. Actually by the first, she was slightly older than me, and it was like the first
Those usually be the ones that
cut
teach
buddy
y'all.
that I had
Yeah.
at Bama. And she basically told me like that. She was like, you don't have to do all this nice stuff. You don't have to say all the things, do all these, romanticize your intentions. Basically, was what she said. You don't have to romanticize your
That's
intentions.
true.
You can be straightforward and tell women what you want.
Exactly what
and
you
if
want.
they're going to rock with it, they are. They're not. Then I had a homeboy that was like, and that's even great advice because now you save time.
Save time, and that was my thing. Again, going back in the day when I was single, I used to tell guys, I was like, give me the choice. Give me the choice. Respect me enough to let me choose. Tell me exactly what it is that you want, and let me decide how I'm going to move from there.
Right.
Because if I feel like you've taken my options away because you've been selling me a dream, that's when I'm going to have a problem.
Right.
That's when you bring out the crazy.
And I'll say this, there are women that I probably couldn't, like, that I've dated more serious than others in the last 5 or 6 years since I've been single, that I wish I could probably go back and
I'm sure.
spin the block on. And I had
I think
one,
I know them too, don't I?
You might know one of
I think I know
them,
both of them.
you probably don't know the other one because the other one is a young lady that I was talking to like right after I stopped with my last ex, and I just acted so disinterested.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now she basically told me like I reached back out to her not too long ago because I'm different now than
Are
I
you?
was. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
For certain women that I know, like I know her, so it's like she would be, anyway.
So what she said?
She basically like, I appreciate it, I'm flattered, but
She hit you with that grown ass woman response.
and no, she hit me with the response, and it like she didn't say anything mean at all, but she came across on
She
some
handled
like
it like a
nigga,
G.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Not fuck me, but like you know what I'm saying, but like. No, like I'm not gonna do that. She was basically like, I don't spin the block. I don't let niggas spin the block. And I was like, oh.
Respect.
But I think she's the only one that I think I can't like really just spin the block on because I left her feeling disrespected. Most women still have a respect factor for me because I'm very honest. With her, I just kind of like ghosted her.
Dang, Mike.
I was.
But you know what? It also took real balls for you to go back and actually like hit her up.
I tried, yeah.
Knowing that's how you treated her in the beginning, but you also deserve the response.
I definitely did, but and to be honest, I'm gonna spin the block again.
Oh, you gonna hit her up again? You gonna keep trying?
I'm not
I
gonna
want
just
to
say
see
'cause I
what
don't
real
want
effort looks like
I
for Michael
don't-
Ragland.
But that's the thing about it. I'm scared to give real effort to something that I don't already have.
But if you're
good
saying that
grip
she's
on.
worth,
That's what I'm saying. I'll give her some effort, but like I can't do that with somebody new. I give her effort but I don't want to come across as that crazy nigga either that won't leave you alone. Or girl, who that calling you? That same crazy nigga that did you wrong and still want to come back. Y'all know y'all talk really bad about niggas who have done your friends wrong and try to spin the block. So I don't want to be that guy.
Rags.
You know what I'm saying?
Rags, do you know what you want?
In a partner,
Yes.
very, like in a very general sense, yes.
Okay.
Like the specifics of it, because I'm not really specific when it comes to the looks as much as I am the feeling she gives me.
oh
So
really?
what for sure, for sure. Because one thing about me is if we trying to be in this for the long haul, then that means I have to have some sort of peace with you. You feel what I'm saying? So if she has to, we have to be able to vibe. She has to have an energy that allows us to have fun in the house, but also outside. Like we don't have to always be out and be seen. That's not me trying to hide you from anyone. I need you to understand that's really how I am. I'm a hermit now. The older I get, the older I get, the more I do enjoy creating.
Those are usually signs of like maturity and like times that you could probably really like realistically settle down, get married, and have a kid.
Okay, well, I definitely am getting to the age where I like creating, you know what I'm saying, space in my house now to where I don't have to leave the house in order to have a good time or to get that good vibe. And definitely sometimes there are times where I like, I wouldn't mind someone here, not to just hunt on, but just really, just sit there and watch, go down my YouTube rabbit hole with me as we watch these dance videos, our favorite R&B. Like I think her name is like Aaliyah Janelle or something, but y'all know Chloe, Joey, Bow Wow and Future baby mama.
Joy Chavis.
Her and her friend. I watch their dance videos.
I'm sure you do.
I get mesmerized, but I like a woman who sit there and like that with me. Like we could watch that together.
So
we can watch.
Talk about how big her ass is.
And then
I'm not judging. No, I mean I admire a woman with a nice physique.
Yeah, and like, don't you want to be able to have that conversation with your husband? Like to be able to sit there and just both of y'all, not necessarily in any kind of like lustful way, but just sit there and admire, like, oh man, it's together. Yeah. Or sit there and watch Disney movies, Marvel. I'm that type of person. I'm a Marvel nigga. That is what I'm telling you, Ronnie. I really want.
Ronnie's there now. And it's like, actually, let's trade.
But the other thing is though, I like to travel, so that's the thing that I do for fun. Like and then when I go to other cities, I'm not trying to hit the club. I will go every, you know what I'm saying, especially if we're going out there with friends. But like I'm trying to enjoy new restaurants, try new foods.
Oh, you're trying to be cultured.
I guess I am. Yeah, I am. Because I'm Birmingham as hell.
Right.
But I have experienced certain things. Germany. You know what I'm saying? That's a nigga from Birmingham. Nothing special about me. You know what I'm saying? My folks ain't got no whole bunch of money, you know, but I've been able to experience different things.
Yeah.
Different cultures. Working at the airport, I used the hell out of my flight benefits, so I got to see different places. And it did make me want to, it made me realize that Birmingham is 20 years, 2 decades behind, you know what I'm saying, a lot of places.
Oh, no, we're not going to do this right now.
But I love it here. Like, this is where
You really feel like Birmingham's 20 years behind?
We are behind. I'm not going to say 20. But, I mean, we're not behind everybody. Of course not. But I'm saying, like, what we're trying to strive to be, or what I thought.
Yeah, I think it's just that we just don't have the same number of resources that other large cities have. But people have to also understand this. LA, Atlanta, New York, there's only a few places in the world that are like that. You know what I'm saying? Most places, when you go to the world, every place has a country area. Like, most of the world is more rural than it is city-like. So,
and I guess in my old age, I've learned to love the charm that Birmingham brings. It's not too big. You know what I'm saying? I can still zip around. We were in LA, our whole family. Nightmare. I'll tell you about it later.
Recently?
A few weeks ago, yeah. And I just remember all the anxiety and the angst of just like trying to get from here to there. You know, and it was just like, how do folks do this every day with kids? I drive myself crazy.
Yeah. And that's true. Like I said, I know I want to be planted here, rooted here, and now that I have something here that I can call mine. I'm like, hey, Birmingham is really my home now. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause my parents moving to Memphis when they retire in the next year too. So I really have something still here though. I have mine. Like, I'm gonna be from Birmingham. They from Memphis and they always talk about going back home. That's how I want Birmingham to be. No matter where I go, what I might grow. This will always be home. This will always be. For sure. I will always be able to come back here and say this is.
I feel the same way. I love Birmingham.
Yeah, I love Birmingham. I love Birmingham.
Same.
I love Birmingham. We're going to switch gears, though. We're going to put the spotlight on them.
Put the spotlight on them.
Now I know that we've all heard about the Grinder decision, Brittany Grinder. If you don't know,
It's Grinder.
I didn't want to say it, Cody.
What you said Grinder. There's no D in the last name.
We all know what Raggs did before he got here, so it's fitting.
He said it for me because I was thinking the same thing.
Brittany Griner. We all know that she was sentenced to 9.5 years in a Russian jail. I still, from what I've researched, I see some reports, usually American reports, that are saying that she was only found with what would be equivalent to like 1.5 grams of cannabis.
I thought it was less than that, but okay.
And then I've heard reports from Russia saying that they found canisters, which makes me believe that they're trying to say that it was more than just the oil. It was the oil, maybe the paraphernalia and other things that she might have had with the oil. I don't know Russian law like that.
Me neither.
I don't want to get too deep into the politics of it. I kind of just want to speak on
the justice.
I'll say this. The accountability. And this is what I mean.
Okay.
If we are honest, Brittany Griner, BG, the new BG, she is being treated unfairly for a political.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. She fell into being a political pawn, right. And
so
that was not on her agenda at all.
Right. So I definitely see that as I will acknowledge that first. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily agree with people wanting them trying to make negotiations for the arm dealer is cool. But at first I was seeing people like almost saying like actively go and get her out like with force. And I'm like, that's irresponsible. First, on our part as a country, to I guess start a war when we have more than just Brittany Griner, who is over there, who are held on fallacious charges, mm-hmm. who is American. And secondly, she has to kind of be somewhat accountable for going. Oh, she's been over there 9 years now, so I'm sure she knows the law. She knows the, you know what I'm saying. She knows the.
She's been over there that long?
Yeah, she goes and plays over there every year for like the last.
I didn't know she had been over there that long.
During the WNBA off season, yeah.
She's been doing that, but because they go make more money
overseas
than they do from the WNBA, and that's another topic.
That's sad. Yeah,
it's another topic. But I just want people to like acknowledge that she's over there, although it was unintentional. But she's over there for a mistake that she made,
right?
And they can't just expect the U.S. government to then move heaven and earth for just her, because there are others. You see what I'm saying? Or what do you think about that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really been following the story closely, like all the details and everything. I just remember when the story first broke, I think a couple months ago. Just about how she was locked up and how there just wasn't like a lot of media coverage around her initially, and now it's grown over the last couple months. But
what are just her feelings then on that?
Well, from what I know, if she was found with a little bit of weed that she did have, I would think that by now she would have served her time. How many months has it been? Like 3?
No, she's been there since February.
It's been a while.
It's been almost.
This year's gone by so fast. It's a blur.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been there for 6 months then. Yeah. If it was February.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, she served her time. And you were saying we don't want to go to war with Russia. Well, we are at war with Russia because we're in alliance with Ukraine, and we're giving Ukraine billions of dollars to support themselves. So, I don't know what the answer is in this situation, unfortunately. I do want her to be able to get out so she can take care of her family and so that she can be with her family. It's very, very unfortunate that she has become a political pawn, because none of this would be happening if we weren't at war with Ukraine.
Right.
So,
and
It's just a really, really bad set of circumstances that just all happened to fall on her, and it's unfortunate. And I'm sure she 1000% regrets traveling with
the vape pen.
Yeah, with her drugs or whatever. I don't know what else she. Like I said, I don't know the details, but
the details seem to be foggy because it seems as though that's what the kind of discrepancy is. I was watching Joy Taylor. She's on. She works with Fox. I think she does Fox Sports. Fox Sports. And she was giving an example of another white woman who was American found with maybe like 19 grams of weed. They just had to spend a couple of days in jail.
Russia?
Just a couple of days in jail, paid like a $250 fine. And
when was that?
It's been within the last few years.
Okay.
I
think the situation would be maybe slightly different if we weren't at war with Ukraine.
Right, yeah.
Now, some people I know are trying to like add the racial component to it. You know, there probably is some element of that. How much of it weighs, I don't know.
Well, see, my thing was just I think that's why the details are kind of murky too, though, because like I said, I've been trying to read, and I see where American papers are making the amount seem like it's so minuscule. Then the Russian reports or reports from over there are saying like she had canisters of the stuff. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of makes me kind of realize I don't want to get too far into that either because I don't know exactly what it is she had on her.
And part of it also is that like whenever, based off of what I understand as a journalist, when you are talking about information on things that are happening in a different country, unless you are on the ground there reporting it yourself, you're having to rely on that nation's or that country's reporting and what they're telling you. And there probably are some American reporters who are there on the ground doing some of the reporting themselves, but still you're dealing with a completely different type of government.
Right.
And what it is that they're conveying to you. So it's like, you know, we only know but so much or what they've actually told us. We may not, there's probably a lot of information that we still don't know or understand. About the situation, but I do agree, like 9 years is egregious.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. But I do, you know, I'm holding out. I know a lot of people have been very critical of Joe Biden, reasonably so to an extent, you know, but I do want to believe that he's going to do something.
Yeah, I had a friend. So my theory was they should be back by next WNBA season, but
when does that start?
Next summer, so a year from now.
I think
she just missed the season.
They just started the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My friend was, her theory is that Joe will probably wait closer to re-election time to actually
in 2 years
to actually make a real move to get her from over there to show or to maybe strengthen, you know what I'm saying, Democrats' position going into the election. That was her theory.
But if anything, it would make more sense for him to do that now because it's midterms right now.
That's what I was thinking too. And I would hope that Joe is not seriously.
That's a
President
long time.
Biden is not seriously considering you said running again, though.
What? Oh.
I hope he's not even trying to run again. Like, for real.
That ain't no different than Meemaw down here running too. Rerunning.
I don't even.
That's what we need to be talking about. You know that she been hiding.
Where?
Y'all didn't hear about that? So
what happened? So what's come on, journalists, keep us informed.
Well, when you are a public official, you have a public calendar that people can have access to, specifically the media, so that we can know what you have on your agenda, where you're going to be, and all that kind of stuff. And people in the media have not seen her lately, and her calendar is not available to the public right now. And so people have been reaching out to her office like, hey, what's going on? Where is she? Is everything okay?
She's not sick, is she?
No, but they're not saying. They're saying that she is completely fine. But they were not, according to Kyle Whitmore of AL.com, he says that, you know, she has not been responsive. And it wasn't until he put the story out that she's been unresponsive that they finally responded saying that the claims were crazy. But, you know, this is all, you know, remember it was 3 years ago that she, I I guess did something similar, and then it came out a few weeks later that she had
like
lung cancer.
Yeah, like some kind of
Right, and so and Kay Ivey, she's older than Joe Biden.
Oh wow,
she's
really?
like 70. She's like 78.
I thought Biden was 80. Hey, Biden,
No,
he's not 80
Biden's like
yet.
73, 4,
Something
maybe.
like that.
Yeah,
for real.
He's not 80 though.
That's
it.
That man acts older than.
he does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Y'all remember Miss Gator from the church?
no.
Used to be in the nursery. She lived to be 100.
Oh,
102 years old, and she was still working in nursery when she was like 100.
Wow.
She was much more cognitive than Joe. She
Or
could
Kay.
move better than Joe.
Because
Like,
Kay,
I don't
she
like
was
her
struggling.
either.
she would like if y'all listen to like how like her voice is not. I'm probably not supposed to be saying all this, but her voice is just not like she always sounds like she's struggling to
Right?
talk.
No, like it's hard for her to breathe when she's
Yeah,
giving
I
along.
mean
Yeah.
she's recovered from cancer, but she's also very elderly,
Yeah.
and you have to have you keep up a busy schedule when you're a public official, especially at that level. So what I'm interested in for people who are in Alabama, the thing that I'm looking for is, okay, if something were to happen to her between now and the election, because she's still in the race right now. She's the primary ticket holder for the Republicans in the governor's seat. If she was to get sick or something before November, then the Republicans in the state can probably do something. Now, what that is, I do not know. And then the question also is, well, what if she does get reelected and something happens before she starts her new term in January?
Right.
So there's just, a lot of people have questions because it's election season.
All right, now I'm gonna ask y'all to ease off Kay for a second, okay? Because y'all not putting enough respect on Kay Ivey's name. Listen to me, okay? Kay is the first gay female governor in the old conservative state of Alabama.
That is.
So is she gay? Probably not officially, but we don't know who her husband is. She don't have any kids.
She don't have no kids. She's been divorced twice.
She looks butch.
She's never.
Can I say that?
I've
Yeah.
never
Sorry,
seen
Rags,
her
can I
in a. Well, I don't think the LGBTQ community would appreciate that. But
Okay. So should I edit that?
that is to your discretion. Okay. But no, I never see her in a dress or a skirt. It's always a pantsuit.
So
she definitely gives me lesbian vibes, but
yeah,
I don't, that is something to, especially in in Alabama,
right?
That's very conservative. That is, but she's still white,
right?
So that helps. You know what I'm saying? That definitely helps.
And old and the best available option to the GOP here. Sadly,
and then she got in during the scandals with
Bentley.
She was the lieutenant.
Bentley.
When she was the lieutenant governor when he resigned
with the phone scandal, with the sex. What was the sex scandal?
Yeah, he got caught on the iPad iMessage.
Yeah, 16 or something.
A miss.
So yeah, she kind of slid in
gets him every time.
I thought that's what people were hoping kind of happened. Honestly, with Biden and Kamala, that he would
fall over. Now come on.
I'm not gonna say fall over, but some kind of way she would be elevated to the office.
I think what people were thinking was that he would get through his 4 years, maybe barely get by, and then she would be the nominee for the next 4 years. Yeah. But
that's not happening.
You don't need to do that.
Let's just be real about it.
And you being selfish. You get paid $400,000 to be in the biggest house in the country. You're getting all the benefits. You get the maids, the butlers, service. You get the food. Like, you get everything laid out for you, like you are the king of the world. And we're paying for it. Like, you didn't have your turn, Joe. So go sit down.
Stress, and every president, even Barack, melanated Barack, young-faced Barack.
I mean, he was in there 8 years.
By the time he got out,
yeah, it did a number on him.
Yeah,
he was wearing
it has to be a lot of stress. There has to be.
Even if you look at Joe Biden while he was VP, he looks completely different now.
Super old. Like, it seemed like Joe Biden aged 30 years in 10 to 12. Like that, it has. So I'm saying, like, it does come with all those benefits, but I'm sure
being
the president is something
job.
I would never want to fucking do. No. Never in my life.
Donald Trump looked the same though.
He didn't do no damn work.
That man was in there chilling.
He was on the golf course.
He was on the golf course every week down in Florida.
Y'all ain't finna scratch me.
He said,
Y'all ain't finna scratch me.
I mean, that's a good point. Trump was speaking his mind whenever he had the chance.
Man,
like he wasn't worried about protecting anybody. That'll keep his stress level low.
He didn't give a damn.
For real, they didn't. I did want to go because you kind of touched on media. Mm-hmm. First, let's talk about what I look at as kind of like the benchmark of early morning radio shows for the black community. Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. After, I don't know how long they've been going along, but after years, they've
been on there for a minute.
They're finally starting.
You know what I'm laughing at. I'm gonna let you go ahead and bring it in, but you know what I'm laughing at.
They're finally starting to shake things up. And Angela Yee.
Oh, is that what this is?
And I think so.
Okay.
And Angela Yee is getting her own show.
Okay.
That's what she announced, that she is getting her own show during the midday.
Yeah.
And I know you might not like when I say this, but let me say this.
I probably will respect it,
but you have something to say, I'm sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, so just the other day, I kid you not, before they even made this tweet, I swear to God, I was in there watching, because the last one I remember her on, was it Chance? No, it was the one they did before Chance the Rapper. It was one I saw, and she was on there, and somebody was like, what's Angela Yee on there for? And I was like, well, she's well respected in telecommunications and media in that area. So they needed someone and a woman with, that kind of resume to kind of be like the other headliner on the show.
Was this a Breakfast Club interview?
Yeah, it was it wasn't a Breakfast Club interview. It was just one of my homeboys. As I was cutting their hair, I was watching it, and they were just like, what's her purpose?
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Like
after she's been on there for 12 years, they asked why. Okay.
But a lot of people often think, not a lot of people that I've heard say they feel like Yee was kind of like dead weight on the show. Mm-hmm. And I think, I'm not going to say she was dead weight, but I just think she didn't really add a lot to it. Mm-hmm. I think when you think of Breakfast Club, you think of DJ Envy, Charlamagne. Mm-hmm. Yee is kind of like the weather girl for the news. You don't, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to say it like that. But you know who, unless you're James Spann, or what's the other one? Unless you're the big ones, the rest of them, for real, the rest of them aren't given that much notoriety. You see what I'm saying?
All of what you're saying is rooted in sexism, by the way. But
it might be. It might be. It might be.
And we can have that conversation, but go ahead.
It might be. We'll get to that later. But, like, for example, it was, Sherry Jackson. We all know who Sherry Jackson is. Anchor for CBS. We all know who Sherry Jackson is. Who does the weather when Sherry Jackson does the weather?
She doesn't do the weather.
I mean, when Sherry Jackson does her 6 p.m., the 5 and 6 p.m.
Nobody knows.
Exactly. That's how they felt about Yee. And I'm not trying to make it a sexist thing. I just felt like she added.
But that's almost anywhere that you go. When you are watching cable TV news, I mean, since you're using that example, you're only going to know a couple people. You have your few people that you think of who are at WBRC Fox 6. You have a couple people you think of at ABC 3340. Like, you're not going to think of everybody.
Right.
So, yeah, there always is going to be those people who either were hired to be the main anchor in front of the camera. So that's who you see. I just really, honestly, I feel like that's not the best comparison.
Okay.
TV
Well, what would you say would be a better comparison for
another radio show or podcast? Maybe, I don't know.
I'll say this. Let's go to First Take, for example. Remember First Take?
That's Skip and
it used to be Skip and Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, yeah.
They ended up splitting off. Skip got his own show now with Shannon Sharp, Undisputed. And our First Take rotates between hosts.
Right.
People always say they love Stephen A. Smith, or they don't, even if they don't like it. If they like First Take, it's still not the same since Skip left. Because even though people don't like Skip added that extra punch to his First Take. So they fed well off of each other.
Right.
I feel like on the Breakfast Club, when I'm watching it, I see Charlamagne and Envy have great banter between the two. I see them bouncing off of each other all the time. Maybe it's because they're men. Maybe it's because she's the only woman on the show that some of their jokes might not register as much with a woman as it will like with men. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that. And I love Angela Yee on lip service.
Right. I
just don't think she was good on Breakfast Club. Maybe even her getting her own show will help her highlight what it is she can offer to a space for others who don't know Angela Yee's resume. I just get weak when people ask me because I know her resume. I know how big she was in the industry before Breakfast Club. So I don't like she was probably one of them that the Breakfast Club didn't make or elevate.
So there's a lot that I can say here.
Okay.
Because I'm in the industry, I've been in urban radio, and I know the game. And first of all, I want to say what Angela Yee is doing is huge because the opportunities for women to have their own show in radio, those opportunities are very limited. So the fact that she's able to go from one of the highest ranking syndicated morning shows to getting her own syndicated show is huge. You don't see women being able to move like that. I mean, and there's probably not that many women in radio that you can think of who have their own show, let alone their own show that's syndicated across the country. So I do want to give Yee her credit and respect there because being a woman in radio is hard, especially when you're in the urban side of things. Like it's no joke. Like it's some real shit because you are dealing with a male-dominated industry and you're dealing with a lot of people who expect you to be a certain kind of way because either they think they know you because you are a public figure, or they expect you to be willing to do things because you are a public figure. Like there's just a lot of expectations on women to be a certain kind of way that's not necessarily placed on men. So that's the first thing. Secondly, in my opinion, if Yee had the personality, I would just say like me, where I'm a little bit more more vocal.
Okay.
I would say in my opinions, and I would have a lot to say and a lot to, I would add a little more fuel to the fire than probably she does because she is a little bit more relaxed. People wouldn't like that either. People do not, like, let's be clear. Society does not like women. And I'm not saying that to try to spark, this whole feminism campaign, right? It's because people are always going to have critiques of women no matter how good or how bad you are. Like, you're never going to be enough, especially in that type of medium. So I will tell you, in the broadcasting space, especially radio, it's expected that typically the best broadcasters have a naturally deeper voice or a deeper register. So you think about Oprah or I can't think of anybody else, but Oprah's like the best example in my book.
I got you.
Because she has that naturally deep voice, right? So it
Wendy
makes
Williams.
Yes, even Wendy to a degree. They have naturally deep voices, and so for your listening pleasure, it feels good to listen to them because they resonate with you. He doesn't naturally have that voice. So to some people, she comes across annoying because she has an annoying voice. That's what they would say. And that's not really the fairest critique, right? It's just the fact.
It's not. But you have a point.
But it's just because that's what people are used to hearing. If you're a woman who's in radio, you more than likely have a deeper voice. And that's also based in, the other reason why I say this also based on sexism is because most of the time when you listen to the radio, you're hearing a man talk.
True. Who
has a deeper voice. So there's a lot of sexism that's involved. But going back to my point about if somebody like me was on there, y'all would be telling me that Cody need to shut the fuck up.
Right.
People would be like, she need to learn her place as a woman. She don't need to be talking. She always cutting men off. She's always doing this. Like, there's going to be critiques no matter what, because I'm a woman and different people have ideas as to what a woman is supposed to look and sound like, especially when you are broadcasting yourself. So there's that. Now, I will also say that some people have critiques about not just Yee, but also Envy, because they're from New York. And New York is the number one market in the country for radio. So like if I start off here in Birmingham and I make my way to New York and I'm on the radio, I have made it, because that means that I have worked my way up to the number one market in the country. So a lot of people who are in radio who are from New York, yes, they've grinded and they've worked hard, but they haven't necessarily had to grind in the way that maybe Charlemagne has, who started off in South Carolina. So there's a different type of hustle that, in my opinion, there's a different type of hustle that goes with trying to work your way up from a smaller market to a big market versus you starting off already there, and you just happen to be in the right place at the right time, getting the right opportunities, which, you know, Envy and Yee are talented, but in my opinion, that's what's happened for them. They lucked up. But that's part of the reason why Charlemagne is a star, because he had to work his way up. He had to be number one in South Carolina. He had to be number one when he went to Philly. Okay. He had to be the best to be on the Wendy Williams Experience. Right. So he's worked his way up, which is why he's essentially the star of the show, because he's had to put in that work and grind in a way that they haven't before.
Right. And I think originally it wasn't meant for him to just necessarily be the star, but like you said, how he had to get it more out the mud, because like you said, he's from South Carolina.
And he's still not necessarily the star of the show. I mean, he'll tell you that himself. He's not the star. But I think everybody understand of course. But everybody understands and knows what their place is. Everybody understands and knows what their place is and their role is on the show.
And some people have larger, more starring roles than others.
I mean, I don't think I can't think of a show where everybody, with two or more people, everybody is equally as big.
This is going to be the first. This is going to be the
You
first.
mean with us three?
Yes.
Okay.
This is going to be the first. But no,
I'm down for that.
But seriously though, I believe that it can be done like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come across. That's why I even wanted to include you on the show, because it might have been Julia. One of my god sisters came to me and she's like, y'all need less testosterone. She's like, there's a lot of nigga energy on the show, and sometimes, you know, that can be overwhelming, especially the women, because when it comes to any kind of service or any kind of product, anything you're trying to sell, when it comes to business, women will usually be your best.
Absolutely. We have the buying power.
Buying power, and y'all are just super loyal for some reason. Like,
and what's interesting to me is I think I was talking to my boyfriend about this. I was like, you have a movie, you have a podcast, you have a rapper, a singer who is a woman. Men don't automatically flock to that person. It's like that woman has to like prove herself in some kind of way before men will even give her any kind of attention in terms of like her talent, right? Whereas like a man can be subpar and like 50% of his audience is going to be a woman or women. So I'm just like, it's really, for me, it's frustrating sometimes, because I'm like, we are just as good as men, but we have to work twice as hard to be able to get the respect from men sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, do you really want to work hard to try to captivate a male audience anyway? Sometimes it's just like, I'm going to cater to my black women.
I mean, there's no problem with that other than the undertone there. It's kind of like, what do you have to say about black men, like, as far as them being your audience? Why don't you want to cater to us?
No, I'm not saying that I don't. What I'm saying is, like, if you have a product that naturally attract your audience 85% women or black women, then you just lean into that, and don't worry about trying to make a bigger audience with black men. If they're just not there, then they're just not there. But I feel like most of the time it just speaks to how men have internal misogyny when it comes to wanting to, I mean, because my boyfriend, like, I'll be like, let's watch a movie. He'd be like, that's a chick flick. And I'm like, you want me to punch you in the face? It's not a chick flick. Just because you see a woman on the cover does not mean that it is a chick flick. And I just feel like it's just a movie. And most of the time, y'all be loving it. Like, you be watching Housewives with me, I'd be like, yeah, you love that shit.
I would say this. I think I may have reposted it on my story the other day. It was an old tweet. I don't know what it's been, but like since 2020, since COVID and all that stuff, and like the world is slowed down, even though it's starting to speed back up.
It's sped up.
Yeah, even though it's sped back up in the last year or so. I was able to slow down enough to really get in touch with my emotions though. Like I was watching the Instagram video the other day, and they was like, they were just walking up. The guy was walking up to random men, asking when last time I cried. Usually, most of them are older white men, but they like yesterday or a couple days ago. And I was like, damn, like I don't know when the last time I had a good cry. And then I was watching. It wasn't even a sad movie. It was something good that kind of happened at the end, and it made my eyes water. Like I really felt it. Like it just kind of made me feel real. Like bubbly inside.
Oh,
and like, yeah, it did feel good though. Like I felt like for so long I detached myself from any emotion. I was so analytical. Like,
but you know what? When the pandemic started, I thought that was what was going to happen. I was like, people are going to become more in tune with their emotions, and they're going to want to settle down and actually do right by other people. And try to form and have healthy relationships. That's what I thought was going to happen. Yeah. Because I was like, we're in such a crisis mode. Like, how could that not be a reaction, right?
Mm-hmm. But instead, it seems like we've gotten more and more toxic. And that brings me to my last.
I'm just so glad I'm not single no more. Because, like, I just can't. Like, the stuff that I be hearing.
This next toxic song is about being in a relationship with someone. And I just played it for you, so you've heard it now. I wasn't gonna actually have you heard it, but you have. So Division dropped the song "If I Get Caught," and they used the Jay-Z sample in it. I was just fucking them girls. I was gonna get right back.
I can't believe Jay-Z cleared that.
He did, but he also, when he cleared it in the text message, he said, "But I have nothing to do with this song."
Yeah, let him know.
He said, "I will."
Ho said, "Let these niggas know."
Clear this sample, but I have nothing to do with this song. He said, "I will clear the sample, but don't put me in the."
It's a dope mix, actually.
Yeah,
the way
the producer part. I forgot what his name was. The guy who. So Division is two parts: producer, singer. Mm-hmm. The dark skinned bald head guy does the producing. He actually been producing for Drake for years. I didn't know they did some stuff on Views. I want to say maybe something on Take Care, but I know he's done some work for Drake over the years, and so.
He was the one that asked. I'm a Drake stan, so I should know.
Oh, are you really?
Oh my god!
Yeah, don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Drake's honestly, Nevermind was the best thing ever. But anyway, not the best thing ever. I just exaggerated, but I loved it. I can clean the whole house.
Wait, which album you think is the best?
It's not the best, but honestly, Nevermind was a great album. I know people don't like it.
Which one was that?
That's his latest one. Wait,
okay. Yeah. I haven't read it.
It's incredible.
Just go listen to it. Like when you are in a mood where you want some music playing, it flows for 40 minutes.
But you know what? I'm thinking that now that Renaissance is out, I think I can go back and appreciate Drake's Nevermind then.
We're not gonna.
Yeah, let's proceed on. Let's go back to Division.
No, I mean, why don't we want to talk about? First of all, I wouldn't even try to talk about Beyonce, but since you try to reject it, then first of all, why gotta be all that? See, you see, I'm talking about misogyny. Why don't y'all want to talk about Beyonce?
Because we know where it's gonna go.
It's not even that. Like Beyonce wasn't even in the conversation. We were talking about OVO, and you bring Beyonce in on a silver horse out of nowhere.
Because she's on a silver horse. She's that bitch. But first of all, let's not get it twisted. Drake put out his album like the day before "Break My Soul" came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, so we on house music now?"
Yes, we are.
Everybody was having that conversation, right? And then Renaissance came out, and it's wonderful. But
I have listened to it. Actually,
Renaissance is a great album.
It's a good piece of work.
That is the only thing I've been listening to for the last 2 weeks. But I mean, outside of my routine of podcasts. But now I've heard a lot of people say, like, I feel like I can appreciate Drake's last album better, and I'm like, okay, at some point when I'm tired of Renaissance, I'll go back and revisit Drake's album so I can like appreciate it.
And as a self-proclaimed stan, that's where I get triggered because I'm just like, man, you had a whole bunch of time to really get into this Drake vibe, but you want to wait till Beyonce comes on to spark your plug. What are we doing? So, but again, Cody, this is nothing against Beyonce.
First of all,
I'm a Drake stan.
First of all, and that's fine. And stand in your standism, but also understand that Beyonce gave Drake credit, so you should be thanking Beyonce actually, since that's your stand.
Let's move on, Rags.
I'm just saying, Drake has writing and producing credit on Renaissance. You're welcome.
Was that Drake telling Beyonce she's welcome.
I didn't know how to take that, Cody. But
No, that was
I was gonna
me
let
telling.
it. I was gonna let it
That was
sizzle
me
for a
telling
second.
Ronnie, "You're welcome," because
Beyonce did something for Drake. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the queen elevated your fave.
Whoa, I ain't gonna lie. I believe there is not much Drake can do to elevate himself in stardom. I think Drake is probably the biggest artist. Not even, and this is why I think he made Honestly Never Mind before we get back to If I Get Caught Cheating. He made it to be able to compete with Bad Bunny. He made it to be able to compete with those other international stars who aren't stuck in this hip hop rap bubble. I think that nigga got tired of being
international music for a while.
Right, he gives us a little bit on most projects.
Yeah, but most people still look at it as hip hop album. Like this one is literally considered a dance album.
Yeah.
Like the genre, like he purposely said, you know what, y'all keep trying to keep me in this box as just a rapper who can do dance music. Nah, nigga, I'm an artist.
I do it all.
I'm a real artist. I can do this.
And last thing I'm gonna say, because I just have to
Why
get
you
this.
laughing?
I have to get this out because I say it in my truck when I listen.
We talk about it.
But as good as Jimmy Cooks is, I'm so pissed that it's on that album. Like I just didn't feel like it was, but it was just like I got to do something.
He did that just for
and
niggas.
I just didn't think that was necessary. But anyway, Cody's tired
so
of my
niggas
Drake.
can be like, there's one thing on the album that slaps.
Right.
But Sticky is that song to me.
Sticky is
that song. That's the banger off there for real. Over Jimmy Cooks. But he got a Text Go Green, Overdrive.
Calling My Name is my
flight.
So y'all get to have an album breakdown, but I can't even mention Renaissance. Like can't even say Renaissance.
Cody again.
That's because we were on the OVO.
We were on OVO.
This isn't Beyonce's album. I'm sorry. But we did let you give her a little shout out.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I love that y'all I love that y'all are so weak right now.
Okay, that can be your segue into Beyonce.
What?
That Jay-Z is on the sample. So that's how you
go Lemonade. Come on, Cody, go Lemonade on us. Take it back an album or two.
I'm good. Only one album. We don't count the joint one. I mean, I wasn't pressed to bring up Beyonce for real. It just happened. I know, can't help it. It's a Beehive thing. I do want to know what y'all think Drake's best album is, though.
His best album?
Yeah.
His best or my personal favorite?
Yeah, because all of
to me
they're
the same.
best.
Oh, really?
To me, what his best is my personal fave.
Okay.
To me,
I take so much heat for this. If you don't mind, Rags.
Go ahead.
But man, when I put on Views,
you really
it's my favorite. It's my favorite because I think in the essence of what Drake has done on Honestly Nevermind, it was first given to us with a heavy tablespoon on Views.
Yes, it definitely
he takes us around the entire globe, and I love it. Yeah, and I think that's why I love Honestly Nevermind so much.
And what was the other one he did right after that? He kind of did this. He tried to prep us for the More Life.
Yes,
he did a lot. He even started doing grime music with Griggs. He did Island Me. So yeah,
Drake can go anywhere.
I just ordered. So I have a thing now. I'm trying to start me a vinyl collection. And each artist, I try to get like my favorite or what I feel is their best work. So Cole, I had 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Kanye, I have College Dropout. I just ordered Drake's Take Care. So I think that'll probably be.
And that
Take Care is your favorite.
Take Care Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing Was the Same is it for me.
Yeah, okay. Take Care Nothing
Thanks,
Was
Cody.
the Same.
Nothing was the same for me.
I love Take Care though.
And a lot of people don't appreciate it, but I'm like.
Yeah, Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing was the same. It should be up there.
Front to back. I might order that one as well.
Yeah, that's to me. I mean, maybe what I love about music so much is that like when you fall in love with a piece of music, it really reminds you of like where you were in your
Come on, Cody.
In your
Talk
life.
to me.
And nothing was the same.
Me, Cody.
Like, I was in Tuskegee University,
I was at Bama
having the time of my life, and that was the soundtrack to I think my fall semester 2013, and.
Yeah,
the features, the Big Sean, like I mean, 'cause that was when Big Sean was on fire, and then 2 Chainz
then
was
he had
like
my girl on the.
Who's your name?
Yes,
yeah, that was
that's probably
song.
my favorite song on there.
He had the whole feature. He, his interludes were great.
Come on, Cody.
The transitions were great. The intro.
Yeah.
I was just like, see, now I gotta play it in the car.
Right.
I'm about to say, you finna make me go listen to it when I leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry we went down that Drake.
That's
right
okay.
home.
That's sponsored by Cody. But
Maybe one day. Your brother was actually the reason I listened to the Beyonce album. As much as he
what
don't
he
like it
said,
either.
because he would never, whatever he told
said
you, he would never say in front of me.
He said, Mike, you should probably go listen to it for real, man. It's actually pretty good. He said
he would never say that.
He probably never tell you that.
He would never.
I probably still got it on my Instagram.
He been rolling his eyes.
Oh yeah, he listened to it. Yeah, don't let
I know
him
he
fool
didn't
you.
have a choice.
Yeah, don't let him fool you. He did. He listened to it, and he actually did appreciate it.
It's a good
I
album.
had another friend that did the same thing. He told me he was like,
I actually want to have a listening party.
He told me the same thing. He was like,
I can see that with Bridge.
So when Bridge and Jew told me I need to check it out, at least give it a try, I was like, I'll do that.
Okay, wait. I've been wanting to have a listening party, but I haven't been able to do it yet. So now you making me want to like revamp that effort. Yeah.
Wait, a Drake listening party?
A Beyonce. No, Renaissance listening party.
I'm gonna be busy that night.
I'm
watching my hair.
I want to see what it is that she has over you all.
But like, I want to be intoxicated when I listen. That's the piece that you missing. This is really because the album is very like 40/40 Club, disco era, New York City's snorting a line. Okay. Like that is the vibe. Okay. And so like for me, I'm like, okay, I've listened to this album so much that now I need to be intoxicated and like really enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Maybe some shrooms. No, just playing. You can't talk about that. I was just playing.
Back to you, Rags.
Division.
Yeah.
So back to
you want to talk about niggas cheating and saying it's okay.
So so that's why I think
with a straight face that gets me every.
That's her. I believe, and this is what they said on the Breakfast Club. Actually, there's a Breakfast Club interview that they did recently.
They did one with Division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't keep up with Breakfast Club content. They
drop so much.
They do like 2 interviews every day.
I just watch them on YouTube. So when they finally drop, I'm subscribed to the page. So when they give me a new one, I just.
That's a good like show to watch while you cutting hair.
Yeah, it's on in the show. I watch that Undisputed. Like that's all I kind of watch. And I don't watch shows. I watch either podcasts or sports debate
Those are shows.
True. So okay.
So what
I don't watch sitcoms and what's the reality TV shows.
Okay.
I watch more like.
You said that like you doing something in life, but okay.
I'm saying you were being an ass about me saying I don't watch shows and they are shows.
Because I feel like they are.
But you knew what I was talking about. That's why I had to be specific with sitcoms.
I don't know why you getting so worked up because I corrected you. You don't like, you be really irritated when I correct your
sitcoms. And
you be sick of me correcting you, Mike. You don't like it when I'm right. It's okay.
No, it's not. It's not about right or wrong. It's about
respecting
me
the fact
making sure I remember what I was saying, because if you stop me, I keep forgetting.
Division on the Breakfast Club.
So my mind, y'all know my mind ain't the same.
Ronnie gonna have to do some heavy editing.
So Division said, and I can't remember what his name, the singer part of Division, what his name is.
His real name?
Yeah, or what his stage name is. But he says that it was just about him dealing with a woman who the same things that attracted her to him are now her insecurities about him now that they're in a relationship. It's kind of he wanted to give more of the I should have cheated Keisha Cole vibes. If that. So so once he sat down and kind of explained it, I get it. I got it, what he was saying. But
that's still toxic.
I said, yeah, how you, and then y'all use that sample in that specific way to give off the connotation like I'm cheating. Like you meant for it to be toxic in delivery, I think. Although they were trying to deny the fact that they meant for it to be toxic at all. I think they meant.
Wait, who are you referring to when you say they tried to make it toxic?
Division.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I'm following.
Yeah, so Division.
Okay.
They're trying to make it seem like on Breakfast Club that they didn't have any toxic intention for it. I'm saying
basically what it's saying is this is normal nigga shit. Ain't nothing toxic about this. This is the standard.
What he was saying was what he said is what he was saying. He's saying that you wouldn't want me if you never thought I had hoes. Women like men, other women like, that's something everyone knows. I was a fly nigga when you got here, charismatic when you got here. You knew about me when you got here. Now you tripping on me, and that's not fair. So he was saying like that's what he's, and he was just like, so in your head, even if I got caught cheating, that don't mean I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was where it kind of went
But I feel like
and
that's
the hook,
changing.
yeah, I'm saying that's why I said that's where it kind of confused me too, and he lost me because the hook then comes back.
So he's
if
basically
I
saying
get
that
caught cheating. So it's just like it was kind of confusing.
So because you met me and you saw how like amazing I am because I attract women and I'm fly and I'm charismatic. You knew that I was out here getting hoes and you thought that I was gonna stop for you. That's what he's saying.
Women logic. That's
what else is it?
He's saying that he's not cheating. But if he were to get caught, that still wouldn't mean that he doesn't love you. Get caught in the sense of him being accused so much. I bet this was like what he was saying, how he explained it. You might have to go watch it. How he explained it gave me Keisha Cole's I should have cheated. Basically, all the time.
Every time you reference it. But I feel like in Keisha Cole's song, she was saying that like
she should have cheated based off how
because he actually cheated though.
Because she actually cheated?
He actually cheated. She was talking about how the nigga was cheating on her.
But she was saying all the times that he accused her of cheating, she should have cheated though.
Right, because that's what niggas do. Niggas be out here doing dirt. And then they come and they project their shit onto you because they know they're out here doing wrong. And you be looking like, what is wrong with you?
Then
Ain't nobody doing nothing. And then you come to find out it's like, oh.
Then you have women with
that's why you tripping
issues.
like that. You was cheating on me the whole time. So I really should have been out here.
Then you have women who just have self-esteem issues and feel like that a man should just... Niggas do the same thing too for women. If you met a girl and she was almost like the it girl when you met her, she's gonna continue to be the it girl after.
Yeah, you got to be able to handle that ride.
So that's basically women don't. On the other side, women don't usually look at it like that.
So it's true because I will say this like it's like on one hand you can be the it girl or the it guy, and that doesn't mean that you like. That what just comes with it is cheating. That's one hand.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
He's saying that just because in your mind I'm cheating, that's what you've made up in your mind that I'm cheating.
Oh,
I'm not
so
cheating.
Basically she can't handle it.
Yes, that's all. That's what he's trying to portray. But like I said, it kind of still throws me off with the sample and the hook. Cause he does say in the hook. But he always says that's not me saying that. He said, that's just the sample that he used. Mm. So I say that's why I think so.
He's trying to mess people up.
So I think what it was that the vision when he first created, or when the producer first created the beat and the sample, that was maybe what it was intended to be, and he kind of tried to take it and flip it to make it not me actually cheating, but it's just you in your head thinking that I'm cheating. But since you think I'm cheating. Even if I got caught cheating, that don't mean like whatever's in your head doesn't mean I don't love you. It's basically what he's saying. I think.
Yeah, I think there was just a way to make that song. And
I think it was a good marketing tool too. I think.
Sure, because that's what you have to do these days.
Yeah,
because he said
find some controversy so you can get some streams.
Right,
and he said he wanted to kind of just start this conversation though. Yeah,
he got all the girls on his phone like. Confused.
He probably is one of those people because I kind of got what he was saying though. Like the conversation that he wants to start is when you are dealing with someone and you like them for a certain thing, then you can't villainize them for not changing.
You really like felt this song. Why is this so close to you?
I don't think
what is it you want to discuss?
Sadly, I'm with Cody on this one. Like, I just can't find any depth in this. It just
it's worth talking about.
It seems like something thrown together, but
yeah, this seems like something you would like try to justify when you're 25.
So it's some young nigga shit.
A little bit to me,
some immature
to me because there's
now
everybody wants to be with somebody who is. Not necessarily like the it guy or it girl, but you want to be with somebody who is somebody.
You want
and
them to be attracted to other people than just you.
It's that's so interesting because it's like I don't know. I don't ever think that. Like it's a subconscious. I don't know. Like when I hear that concept of like women only want to be with guys that other women are attracted to. It's like, yeah, that is true. But anytime I've dated guys, I've never like thought
about if other women like
yeah, because I mean, I don't date ugly people, so it's like I know that other women.
Let me tell y'all what y'all call that. Y'all call that nigga either a cornball or lame. I've heard that you. That's
like if other girls don't like him.
Yeah, so that's what women mean. But like that's what because I've.
They probably are. If other women don't like him, that's probably true. Yeah.
But you just said that shouldn't be something that concerns you if you're dating. I've known women that won't talk to a nigga because he feel like he's corny or lame. And I'll be like, what is he doing? He's just super nice. So I'm like, but that's what you want that nigga to be.
We do like the refined street nigga. We do like the refined fuck nigga. We do. We want the guy that can't get. We want the guy that every girl wants to be with. We want the guy who got a little bit of street, whatever. We want that guy who is a little rough around the edges, but can be different for you.
See, that's why,
and that's where a lot of women mess up at because it's like.
And see, that's what
you really think he's gonna change.
That's what I think the whole like, and I don't want to keep going back to them because they such a hot topic over the last couple of months and years. But the whole Jada Will thing, Tupac is what a lot of women imagine to be like the perfect hood street nigga.
Yeah, I love.
Until Nip came along later on, and women started
who
Nip Hustle, Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah, between
like they felt like he was the perfect. He was a
Lauren,
big crip.
I was
but
very
he was
jealous
very
of Lauren.
business minded. Very, you know what I'm saying, aware of himself.
Yeah.
He had knowledge, wisdom.
I was very jealous of Lauren.
Still a slapper nigga though if he fuck with his folk.
Yeah.
Seen that on video. You know, that's what y'all want. Y'all don't want Will Smith.
Wait.
But usually
wait a minute.
Will Smith.
Wait a minute.
You just said deep down most women want a refined hood nigga. Y'all don't want the y'all don't want the Will Smiths. That's why Willow is still writing letters to Tupac years after he.
Wait a minute. We don't need to talk about Willow. Okay, that is okay.
Talking about my mama miss Tupac.
Yes, like we want the refined street guy, but it's not necessarily street or hood as much as it is like somebody who has some level of street smarts. I think Will Smith has some level of street smarts. He's not a street nigga. No, he's not a hood nigga. Does he have street smarts? I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he
has. I think that's like the baseline. Like that is what all women want. Okay,
so if we're on Madden and we're giving niggas
video game,
yeah, we're giving niggas ratings.
Okay.
What would be the default or what's the lowest street awareness rating a nigga can have? Like what level of street awareness does he have to have for you to feel like that's enough?
I don't know how to scale that, but like it's just you will know when you are out with a guy, you'll know whether or not
what is he doing. That's what I'm saying. What is he doing to let you know? I can't
think of a specific example. I think some of it is socialization. Mm-hmm. How does that guy socialize in settings? Like when you guys are out, whether it be like a friends gathering or.
But how would you know? Like, because I hear a lot of women, so I'm really trying to understand.
So I think some of it is just like how does this man socialize?
But
who are his
what
friends?
Does the street come from?
Well, I'm trying to tell you. Okay. I think some of it is socialization.
Excuse me.
Say what?
I said excuse me.
The hiccup. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking me.
Oh, I had a hiccup too. Me off. Sorry. Excuse me. I think it's how the guy socializes. Like who are your friends? Who your friends are tells a lot, in my opinion, as to who you are as a man. And how you socialize with other men too. So if you can talk to the street guy or the hood guy without being awkward or
so just
without like looking down on him, but can just talk to him like he's a human being, then I think women typically can like respect that because it's like you can move. I see what you're saying. You can move amongst like crowds of people.
You can assimilate yourself. Okay, I get what you're saying. You want to be, and niggas are the same way. It's not necessarily a street factor, but we don't want. We usually say we don't want no
girl who been ran through.
Nah.
Oh, I thought
young folks say that.
Oh, you don't care about that?
Not
I think that's an interesting topic.
As long as she is not, because we ain't got time. That's a long one. We can definitely put a pin in that one. We can definitely talk about that. My philosophy is a lot different than a lot of niggas though, but
okay, I'm interested
there. But I do believe that men want a woman who has a certain kind of, I guess we don't call it street sense. Well,
who can switch it up? Who know how to act in public.
So I can take her around. I can take her to the Villa when we over there slapping cars with.
She can hang with the homies.
She can be in there just as cool. She ain't nervous. I met a black girl when I was in college from Chicago that was mortified of being in a group or in a setting where there was nothing but black people. Honest to God. Like she would miss some hour black. She wouldn't go to the Ferg on Wednesdays when it would be blacked out.
Ferg on Wednesdays used to jump.
Yeah, she wouldn't go in there. She wouldn't go to none of the like Greek
She was
stuff.
scared of black people.
She was scared to be in there. Yeah, so I was like, she can only be around a certain type of, she could be around us and my friends, but yeah, I got friends who are educated, but I got niggas that was down there that wasn't in school at all. You know what I'm saying? That ain't in no school.
UA tends to attract that.
School, huh? Yeah, UA got plenty of them down there. Some of them I knew from here. So it's just like, I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? That some people are like that. But so, and it made me realize, I can't have no
You can't hang with her.
I can't have a woman that's like that. Like,
yeah.
Hell no. How you gonna be scared? We can't go to Essence Fest? Like, what the fuck?
You want to go to Essence Fest.
What you mean? Like, that's...
You would want to go down there with all the aunties.
Oh, me and Mike Martin and Willie used to go down there before. Mike Martin, before he was in a relationship. Single Mike Martin. We would go down there in the Essence Fest though and have a ball 3-4 years in a row. Would. Yeah, before COVID. Like COVID was the first one we missed probably since like 28. When I first moved back to
y'all find like a woman to crash with and
I mean, we had a friend down there who had a place and she would let us like rent it out. I don't even know if she charges anything. It was Mike's friend, so
Single
Mike's friend. So
that's a good plug.
Yeah, and she was like, she's not far from Canal either. So we were there, and like we used to love like Essence was just being around all those beautiful black people, and not having to worry about shit.
Yeah,
like it was a safe. Like we wasn't worried about. Like in Magic City class, sometimes you go down there, you might like, all right, now at the end, don't be hanging around too much. Nigga might get shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to Beale Street, go to
you gotta leave your field at a certain time.
At the end. Yeah, you gotta. Essence, we was just out there partying all day with the folks. And like, you know what I'm saying? So it was good. But yeah, she has to be able to do that. Coming around the family cookout. My folks in Memphis, you know, they not just hood, but they from Memphis. They really from Memphis. So, you know, my daddy's side at least, and I'm from North Memphis. So it's like, you know, it might be a little rough around the edges here and there, but they good people, you know what I'm saying? And they you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't scare you to be around, you know? So it's just like, I don't know.
I agree.
What say you? You're married already, so I guess you already have.
Yeah, hard for me to relate to any of this.
you found your partner, but let me ask you this, and we'll end off this, and I'm not gonna get you in any trouble, but I do want to know, because although you found that person, like you started a family, y'all in it now 13 years.
Yeah.
Married 13 and together 13?
Married 13, together 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that, like, I know at a certain point, like anything you do after a while, even if it's with the person you love, gets kind of old or gets, how do you go about, because that's one thing I'm scared of too, I'm afraid of, is like, I guess that's why I like to keep my options or keep it new, because after a while, for me, quickly it fades. Like the luster
excitement.
of it. Yeah, it fades. Like, so it's like,
I think. Well,
you go ahead, Cody.
I'm not married. Let me.
Is this only for the married person?
It's not only. I'll let you go first, and then you can.
Okay. Well,
because you are in a relationship, so I'm single, so I don't have a answer.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's just like, this is so corny. This is so cliche. But one of my groomsmen gave a toast at our wedding, at a reception. He said, every day find something new about your spouse. And it seems so corny, but in those times, like, I don't know, like a love stalemate is what I call them. Man, you really have to dig deep and just like try to find something new about that person. And the thing my wife has helped me out with a lot is, by nature, like, I'm a habitual creature. Like, give me the same milk, the same cereal, the same lunch, the same dinner. You won't hear a peep out of me, right? So my wife is not like that. She cannot eat the same thing 2 days in a row. She cannot. So I've had to channel that, and I've had to let her push me and challenge me. And within that, it usually creates a natural spark. And then, you know, every now and then I'll grow a wild hair and I'll be like, you know what? Let's just go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's a level of excitement that comes with that. And then, you know, I've been like in this investment thing. So like, I'm bringing her along with me on that. So it's really like being intentional about really including her. I'm speaking from my perspective, but including her on a lot of my things that I want to do, talking a lot, and being okay with her coming along for the ride. And I think my wife is doing a good job at that also. So
it's an adventure.
It's an adventure for sure. Mm-hmm. But the one thing, God, I sound so old. The one thing you got to really have faith in and really lean on is like, no, I love this person in the midst of like whatever goes south. And, you know, because we've had 2 kids, and like with each kid, it was like, I could be real, like we went through like divorce thoughts after each kid, just because it's like it's a new phase of our life and we don't know how to handle it. We both can be a little selfish, you know. But you just gotta. I know for me, it's just like I gotta remind myself why I fell in love with this woman. And once I do that, I'm usually instantly thankful. And then I do have a couple single homeboys, and no, hearing y'all talk,
probably a mess.
Yeah, well, not only that, but hearing y'all talk about like the dating landscape right now,
it's not nothing.
Yeah,
I tell my homeboys, not for real. The ones that are in a relationship, they have a. I can't tell them they have a good partner, but I think that it's healthy for them. I encourage them. I say, bro, ain't shit out here. I mean, I ain't saying it's plenty of women out here.
I don't know why you pointing at me. I'm not single.
But I just knew you were gonna say something because you. No,
I agree.
You ready to put your pom poms on? I'm sorry. You just use.
I be ready to put my pom poms on for women.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you supposed.
But y'all are equally raggedy, so.
But I'm saying the dating scene itself is so don't be envious of us.
Because I know I want to be with a woman like that. That's the thing I know, you know. So like,
and I do too. Like I actually do want my person. Like, I want her, and somebody was telling me this other day. Where I am right now, I have so much other things that I focus on. She would have to be one that just kind of understands that and goes with this flow. Like naturally, like it doesn't bother her to be invested in what I'm invested in right now because this is what I'm invested in. I can't invest in right way, rags, rants, rags, cuts, and relationship equally. Like it's not possible right now.
You know, Mike, I'll say this. I know we got to get out of here. Oh, yeah. But did you watch the Derek Jeter documentary?
I did not.
Okay, it's good. It's about like 8 parts. But one thing about Derek Jeter that I really respect was that Jeter knew how committed he wanted to be to baseball. Like from a young age, he knew he wanted to be shortstop for the Yankees. He knew he wanted to win all these rings. He knew how competitive he was. But he had so much like honesty about himself. Like, do I believe Derek was out here doing this thing? Yeah, he was. He was flinging. He had to have been. But Derek didn't decide to settle down with a family until his baseball career was nearly over. Just because kind of like you reminded me of it. He knew he wanted to be this, and a relationship was not going to weave in well with that. And I have so much respect for that. So I say that, and I say, I have respect for you acknowledging the fact that I got all these things going on that I'm involved in. If I find a woman that can like go with this flow, that's good. But as for right now, I'm trying to build something, trying to get somewhere. You know,
and I'm not, and I don't want. When I say I'm single, I don't want people to just assume that I mean I'm hoeing. Like it just means that I'm single. Like I'm not necessarily. I'm actually under trying to get out my whole phase. Like, well, I'm out of my whole phase.
You are.
Yeah, because that's another word. Try is not a thing. You've never tried to do anything. You
are.
Did
you're
it
not.
or didn't. Yeah. You either succeeded or failed. But I'm out of my whole phase, and I just.
Congratulations.
Yeah, as far as like sleep, I mean, I still have a lustful eye. I'm working on that.
I think that's part of being a man.
Sleep with everything. Yeah,
y'all will never just not be doing it.
Your perception on how to make it last with your partner.
I think for me, like what Ronnie said, just like really loving that person. For my boyfriend, I can say that I truly do love him, and every once in a while, there's something that he'll do where I'm just like, oh, I really love him. You know, it's like that little reminder, you know? So it's like you can be caught up in whatever you have going on, your work day or an errand you have to run or a goal you're trying to achieve, or maybe y'all just got done arguing about something, but then he'll do something and I'll be like, wow, I kind of like you. And that to me is like where the butterfly sparks. Like I feel like when you really are with somebody that you love, every once in a while that butterfly will, or that excitement will come back because they'll do something that you're just like, that really touched my heart.
I fell in love with you.
Yeah.
I feel that. I mean, I felt that before, of course. And I felt that since I've been single. You know what I'm saying? I felt that about. I've had a couple of girls that had my heart flutter. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't mentally just where I needed to be. But if it happens again, I'll be ready.
That's real.
When you meet her, I want to meet her.
When I had the whole world of media, I know I put shit on Instagram. Yeah, I see it on my story.
No, yeah. I didn't say when everybody else can know it. I said when you meet her.
When I find out, you and I know who Julia. Y'all probably be the first two females. Y'all probably only two female friends that I probably talk to on the
women friends.
Women friends. Sorry, she's one of those. I forgot.
Mike, you gonna stop talking about me like I am not sitting here and that I don't have a name. One of those.
Mike Raggs.
Cody D on air.
Big Gat.
Big Gaddis. Please say the Gaddis.
And we out.
Bye.
You know what time it is.